Detective Sherlock Holmes, it was the case of Casey. Darren, that is.
That's fantastic,
Thank
Tony.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know. You leave me speechless.
I know. Well, that's not my intention, Darren, because we don't have much of a segment if you don't say anything, because people only tune in to hear you.
You're too kind for a crazy guy that you are.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be, as you know, I'm going to be, if I'm going to do a podcast, I've got to learn to listen more and become really good at interviewing people. So I've been practicing a little bit. That's why I ask you about your travels.
Yeah.
And you tell me things, and I often don't, because I'm thinking, where's a joke? Where's something funny?
Yeah.
Because you're putting me to sleep, and so I have to start looking for jokes and things.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I've got to be better.
Yeah. We all have to be better, and we have to listen harder.
Yes. So you're really good at it. I've heard some of your work.
Yeah.
You're great.
Well, I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's kind of you to say that.
Yeah, buoyant. You've come on. You've really done well.
Well, Darren, you and I were doing radio in 1997.
I know.
So we've both seen each other start from little seeds into these blossoms.
And we were just like a couple of young tearaways.
Yeah. We didn't care. There was no tomorrow.
Yeah, there was no tomorrow. I don't think there was a tomorrow.
No.
That's how we lived. No tomorrow. Now, I tell you who is living like there has been going to be many tomorrows. Poor old Madonna.
Oh, my God.
The furor over her face. I feel a bit sorry for her. What's your stance? She's a lady who's had some work done. It's not like she's the first person to ever do that.
No, but she's... to me, the ugliness on the outside is only a tenth of the ugliness that exists inside her soul. I really think she's a decrepit individual.
Whoa.
I really do.
I'm ducking. I've hit the floor. You've just put 3 snooker balls in a sock.
Yeah.
And just started swinging.
Yep. Yeah.
I've had to get out of the way of that one.
No, I think she's hideous.
I've obviously missed something.
And
I don't know much about. I know she's had hits over the years. She's always been very sexual.
Yeah.
And I do think that as you get older, all of us, not just women, guys as well, we all get a bit older. We probably need to back off a little bit with sexual stuff that we might have sold when we were younger.
Yeah.
Because I notice, everyone gets plastic surgery. You see it everywhere, but I saw footage of her at some awards night, hanging out with friends, and she couldn't keep her tongue in her mouth. She seemed to be either licking someone's ear or shoving it down someone's throat.
Yeah, it's so transgressive. She just shocks.
Mannerisms and her and her friends get like wiggling their tongues at each other. The tongues are making contact for a camera.
Oh, it's just shocking. I'm clutching my pearls even hearing about it.
And I thought maybe rein that in. If you are like, you could be a grandmother. You don't want to be doing that.
No.
From my grandmother, I'm thinking scones, whipped cream, a little bit of jam. I don't think we need much of that uggity. Come on, Grandma. Stop it. Hey. Come here. All this going on.
Yep.
All this sexualisation. Scones. Or homemade lemonade.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe
what's wrong with that?
And maybe an anecdote about buying lollies with 7 shillings when Alfred Deakin was Prime Minister.
14 kids on top of an iron, or like in between pulling a hoe, a steel bolted hook with a buffalo on one end. And you stop the buffalo to have a kid. And then the buffalo steps on you and you have to crawl 8 miles to hospital to have your 10th kid.
Yeah.
That's what I want from a grandmother.
Yep, fair enough.
Hard stories.
Yes.
That's what made this country great. Yeah. What do you like at Kung Fu fighting?
What am I like? I was good in the 70s. We would watch Monkey Magic. If you remember
knew
that show.
about that show.
Yeah, and so we'd have sticks and we'd hit each other with the sticks.
So it's a stick that you would normally have in a potato?
That's right.
Because it was the only toy you had as an Irish family of 17 kids? Is that
Yes,
the stick we're talking about?
it was my Christmas stick. Yep,
The stick inside the potato.
Yep.
That was your toy.
that's right.
Yeah. What did you were hitting? I never watched Monkey Magic. People told me about that when I was an adult, and
Yeah.
I said I do not know of this show.
It was they were on a pilgrimage, and there was we were supposed to believe that this girl with a shaved head was actually a guy named Tributaka. She was gorgeous. Anyway, but they were off looking for something. There was a quest, and one was a monkey, one was a fish, one was a pig, and they would get into all sorts of Asian misadventures.
Oh, crazy misadventures!
Yeah.
Like a sort of a misfit bunch of buddies.
That's it. But
on
there
an
was
Odyssey.
but there was lots of layers of fantasy and folklore and
Do
that
they all
sort
have
of
their
thing.
own skill?
Yes, yeah, well done. Yes, they
One build
did.
a wireless out of gum leaves or something? Was there any of that going on?
One
Was
could
one
fly.
a weapons expert?
Well, one could fly on a cloud, and the other one could.
Oh, yeah.
He was really good in water, and then the other one was just very good at hitting people with a stick.
Right. Was there any sex in it, in this show?
No, it was pure.
Because I was listening, I had a earworm. I was listening to Kung Fu Fighting, and we can't listen to it because then I won't be able to stick it on the internet. I think that's how it works.
Yeah,
But do you remember the song Kung Fu Fighting?
I sure do.
It's a fabulous song.
Yeah,
But in the clip, the guy's got some kimono. He's a black guy, Carl Douglas.
yeah.
Is that his name?
I don't know.
And he's got a red headband,
Of course.
and he's doing a few moves. And it's fantastic. The Funky Chinaman from Funky Chinaman.
Yeah.
From Funky Chinatown. Those cats were as fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I like it when in lyrics when they put "in fact." Or like, so I have read. In fact, it was
Yeah.
a little bit frightening. In fact,
Yeah.
in case we think he's making it up.
Or using some artistic license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. Those cats were as fast as lightning. I like that sort of thing in a song. And then he was doing the moves. You do that?
I did.
Do that sort of stuff?
I did. Wow.
Let's get it on. Yeah. Did you know when a song becomes sort of part of everyone's life over 50 years and some sort of lifetime achievement? We discussed how bands then get to do a show with the Philharmonic.
Yes, that's very popular at the moment. That
yeah,
sort of
I
thing.
think even the Stones might have been
Yeah.
offered to do something with the Philharmonic. The Sex Pistols, if they weren't all dead, might get to do something with a Philharmonic.
Yeah.
Well, if they ever do Kung Fu Fighting with a great big orchestra, I want to be the guy standing in front of a mic, and every time the orchestra looks at me, I go, I want to be that guy.
Well, will you be wearing a tuxedo like everyone else in the orchestra
Yes.
just to fit in?
But
Yeah,
I
great.
got veins hanging out of the neck. Let's get it on.
In fact, yeah.
In fact, you see, not making it up. Oh,
Oh, right. No, it's a matter of inarguable certitude.
yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
and I respect it.
Right.
Did you know that I guess in America there are aliens,
Yeah.
but it's a cover-up.
Okay, right.
It's a massive cover-up. That the government knows about aliens and has seen them,
Yeah.
and but it's a cover-up. And you think, well, why would they cover it up? Do you know why they would cover it up? Can I just say that the government was sort of they thought they saw something over Washington in the 50s, some lights.
Yeah.
And they said, how come the government isn't saying anything about this? Because the government didn't care, because the government weren't interested in it. Somehow that means, right, they're not saying anything. Cover up.
Yeah. Bang. Got him. Got him.
If I ask you about, did you see Carlton last week, and you don't answer me, I think, right. Okay. He knows something, maybe something about Carlton he does not telling me. Cover up.
Right.
But the reason for covering it up, Tony, this is serious. We couldn't handle it.
There, that was it.
That's the one right there.
Yep. Couldn't handle it.
We couldn't handle it if there were aliens.
No. Would just completely go to pieces.
Yeah, we couldn't handle it.
Yep.
To start punching the guy next to you. That was an alien. Start strangling. People taking their pants off, running around the streets because we couldn't handle it.
Couldn't handle it.
What if aliens were like really kind of pudgy and like little and rubbery and like punching them just made them start laughing?
Yeah.
You could just punch them and they'd explode and they liked that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to do anything. That's not going to bother us.
Well, yeah, you'd hope not. I mean, they may be hypercritical. I mean, imagine that if they just go around criticising everything they find on Earth.
I hadn't thought of that.
They see the best of us, like the Mona Lisa or the Statue of David, or all that stuff that we're really proud of, and they go, yeah.
They just look at it and go, weak.
Or even worse, Darren, if they attack us with faint praise. If they look at something like the Mona Lisa and go, yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. It's a start.
I couldn't handle that.
Well, I don't think any of us could.
Well, is that what they mean? That's what they mean.
Yeah.
We couldn't handle it because they're not going to be interested in anything we think's good.
No.
You're showing them your old footy cards and stuff. They go, well, that looks pretty stupid. A guy standing there holding a football out at an angle with one hand in front of an empty grandstand.
At night.
That? And what's this pink smelly stuff that I've got to put in my mouth? It's not going to work. You're right.
They'll be very harsh on the pink smelly stuff because, as they will point out, it'll lose its flavour immediately.
Yeah.
And what's the white powder? It's ridiculous.
The white powder stopped it from, I don't know, but did you have black cats when you were at school?
Yeah, had black cats. They were great.
Did you collect the flags?
No, never did that.
They had flags in them, or pink. There was the black cat or the, what's it called? And they had little waxed flags in them of the world.
Oh, okay.
But black cats were magnificent. If it was slightly stale, if it was fresh, you could peel it off your face if a bubble burst.
Yeah.
But if it was a little bit stale, it could stick there. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, and you're in a world of trouble from Mum if it got onto your clothes, or even worse, Darren, do you remember this? If it got into your hair, it meant a trip to the barber.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was held over you.
Happened. But if the bubble could burst and leave this black stuff around your mouth, that you'd peel it off, but we were like a bunch of 8-year-old sort of Clark Gables. We're all walking around looking like South American mobsters. Little black moustache. Yeah. And then we'd light a cigarette for a dame. You should have one puff and then butt it out and walk away. Never knew what that was. Do you know about someone did we in Parliament on someone?
I hadn't heard that.
No. That's why you have me on your show, because I can keep you informed of... Oh, look, there was some inquiry. I don't know what's gone on. There was talk of urination at a Christmas party.
Well,
you don't know anything about this?
No, I'm very glad it wasn't a parliamentary motion.
I think it was within the Department of pesticides. I thought, well, he's obviously just trying out a new pesticide.
Right.
Possible.
Well, that's commitment.
Yeah, why don't we use some of this? But anyway, in a statement, someone said they didn't know about it, but not at a Christmas party, but maybe in a private capacity. You don't know anything about it, so I probably shouldn't bore you with it. But anyway, someone urinated on somebody else somewhere in the government.
What was that, delivering on an election promise to increase the number of urinary events by 50%?
I think it was to do with a new pesticide, but I think they were testing to see if this was the culture of that particular, like, was it an isolated incident, or are they just going crazy in there? You know, they just weeing willy-nilly all over the place, marking territory or something, a bunch of cats. But I don't know. But I won't. That's enough about that sort of stuff.
That's officially crazy talk.
What did you do in San Francisco?
We we went down to there's a Liberty ship there which took supplies to Europe in World War II, so we had a look at that, as you do. But we were over there for a wedding, and there was the two families. So from our mate in Australia came together with his family, and they had dinner in San Francisco at a really nice restaurant.
And were they American people?
Well, the bride's family were American, and the groom was Australian. I went to school with him.
Oh, I see. He married an American girl. We're getting married over in Frisco.
Well, outside of Frisco, in Carmel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that a few weeks ago. John Steinbeck's old haunt, and
Clint Eastwood was the mayor of it.
Eastwood was the mayor. You're not going to pay your parking ticket? Oh, I don't know. Blow your goddamn head off.
Well, crime was very low.
Yeah. I wonder if Rocky Balboa would have liked going there.
Well, if only we could find out.
I forgot to do him earlier, because when I talked about Kung Fu fighting, I was on the here thing, I'm thinking, why am I talking about Kung Fu fighting? What was the point? And I thought, that's right, I was going to do Rocky, Kung Fu. Those cats, funky Chinaman, funky Chinatown. Let's get it on,
Yo.
A funky Chinaman. Cats fast as lightning, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is he saying that to his trainer or to his wife? His wife's probably thinking, wow, there's been few too many concussions.
Yeah. Look, it could be. No. You don't know with him. But anyway, look, it's been fabulous. Remind me to tell you about... Did you ever see a movie called Eating Raoul?
No.
Oh, I might have to insist. You track it down. It's from the 80s. It was quite mental. It's got... Paul and Mary Bland, like their name says, are a really boring couple. He's into food, she's into wine, or he's into wine, she's into nutritionist. They just want their own restaurant one day. But they live in a sleazy block, and they've got neighbours who are swingers. So on their floor, their neighbours there's always people coming and going and swinging. You still there?
Yeah. No, I'm listening.
I thought maybe you were disgusted and you hung up on me.
No. I know. I'm
So-
intrigued. I want to hear how this goes.
Well, so every time they get on the elevator, there are sleeve bags on the elevator that naturally just think they're going
Oh, right.
swing as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, you guys going to swing? I bet you're going to get it on. And there are all these guys wearing gold chains and
Yeah.
flares and all that. And this guy and his wife, but it's more her, she's got to wear all this humiliation on the elevator from all these bags. And she's constantly saying, well, no, we're not. We're not going there. We live in this flat here. Goodbye. Well, you should come in. Yeah, you look good.
Yeah.
And anyway, they eventually deal with the situation. But at one point, there's 6 people in a circular jacuzzi.
Right.
And they're all going, hey, come on in, swing with us.
Oh, God.
And she throws an electric radiator.
Ah.
Comedy. And she and shorts the whole thing, and they're all draped over the side like flowers. It's quite funny.
And all dead.
Yeah, they're dead.
Dead
yeah.
swingers.
She kills them.
She kills them.
Yeah, but as
Okay.
she's throwing the radio, she goes, swing on this.
Oh, bang.
But look, you probably should watch it.
All right. Well, it sounds like homework for next week, and then we can
Well, it's a
dissect
good
it then, Darren.
It's called Eating Raoul. But anyway, look, thanks for having me, and I'll get going.
It's always a pleasure, and I'm just going to think of a mustache, a little mustache, thanks to a black cat. Darren, you're a ripper, and we will speak to you next week.
Delightful. Thanks, Tony. See ya.
Thanks to you and Rocky Balboa as well, and we'll
Ugh.
chat. We'll chat.
Cats. Funky Chinatown.
We'll chat in 7 days' time.